Hey, good morning, everyone. It is time for another video. We have a brand new set. Kind of excited about this. This is going to be our fantasy set. So we've got a whole series of layout templates that's built around kind of fantasy stuff. So Ryan and I are going to carve these simultaneously. And then you guys have already seen this fantasy set on Fridays live. And so it's time to get these things carved. And Ryan's going to set up over there. I think most of them are going to be inset, but some of them are going to be outset, just based on, you know, the difficulty.
The dragon will probably be outset.
Yeah, the dragon will be outset, I think.
Maybe the shield.
Maybe. And the reason being is Ryan and I were talking about it, and like the, not the griffin, but the Pegasus over there, is that if this was inset, then all of those little tiny pieces in there would have to be outset, and that gets really tricky.
Yeah.
So this one, and at least the Pegasus are probably going to be outset versions, just because there's a lot of really small details inside. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so stick with us. We'll be right back, and we're going to get to carving. All right, guys, let's get to carving. So we've got, like I say, we've got some of these are going to look better inset, some of them are going to look better outset. At least that's the way we're thinking about it. So I actually have marked my board inset, an I, inset or outset. I'm going to do one of the outset ones. That's the toughest one, I think, one of our toughest ones. I'm going to use the carving liner because there's some really fine detail in there. And I'm going to do a couple. Then we're going to switch. Ryan's over there. He's going to be doing a couple. So you'll watch me for a few minutes, and then we'll go over and see what the boy can do. Here we go. All right, so guess what, guys? I messed up. Those, I was supposed to be cutting the black away in here, not making those outset, because the whole image is going to be outset, so those should have been inset. So, Ryan and I talked about it for about 10-15 minutes. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sand this off, and then when we relay it out, I'm going to relay it. Fortunately, we have a really wide board here. I'm going to relay it out where those things are just going to be right there, and they're going to be gone anyway because all of this is going to be cut away. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, so I'm going to sand it off right now. All right, so that's what we're going to do, just like that. So I'm going to spray this off camera, come back, it'll be relayed out, and then we'll get to carving. Stick with us. right. Yeah, there are some pretty tight spots in there. So I'm going to use the same carving liner. I'm going to set it a little bit deeper, probably about twice that deep, and go in there and make those lines. And then I got to do the inside of the shield here. Do it a little bit deeper. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save the inside of the shield, do that with a profile bit. I'm just going to do what I absolutely have to with the carving liner. So here we go. Now I'm going to bring out the profile bit, and we'll open that stuff up with the profile bit. Here we go. We'll go a little bit wider line. Should be all right. One last step. Let's get the 90 and let's put a fat line around that thing. Perfect. Thank you, son. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I like that. That was a little tricky, man. There's some pretty tiny lines in there, but I like that. I think it's going to be cool. All right. So we're going to move over to Ryan and see what he's going to do. Hang on.
All right, guys. So Dad did probably the hardest outset one, and I'm going to do the hardest inset one, and it's going to be the Spartan helmet right here. I think it'll look a lot better inset because the helmet will be black and the shading will be outset, set up a little bit. I think it's going to look pretty cool. So here we go. all the stuff that I needed to do with the carving liner, getting in these real fine lines here. And then now we're going to switch to the profile, which is right here. Now we'll get the 90. We'll take these 4 pieces out here, and we'll see how it looks. Yeah, I think that'll look cool.
I think that's going to look really good.
So when we come back, guys, we're going to do the rest of these off camera. Dad's going to do his, I'll do mine. Then we're going to spray them off and sand them and see how they look. I really like this set because you got simple stuff like the hat and the guy, and there's some easy ones over there. Then you got some really hard ones, so it kind of mixes it up quite a bit. So when we come back, we'll spray them off, sand them, and see how they look.
All right, folks, let's get this thing sanded off. and see what we look like. So I am going to use my 80 grit on my disc sander for my first sand. Here we go. You guys can see that's kind of sliding around on me. Ryan, would you hand me that bench brush over there? So because it's sliding around on me, I've got a couple different choices. It could be that I've just got too much sawdust between the pad and the board. And it could be that the board, it's rough on the back, so it just wants to kind of slide around a little bit. We'll see if that makes a difference, and if that doesn't, then we'll try something else. Okay, you can see that this board is still just light enough that even with that light touch and that sander that it wants to move around on me. For me, it's not that big a deal. I've dealt with things moving around that I've tried to sand or even route for decades. But if it's a problem for you guys, it's a simple solution. Make yourself a sanding board. Now this board is probably 5 years old. It's all beat up. 1/2 inch MDF, just a piece of 1/2 inch MDF with a strip there and a strip there. I originally made these for belt sanding. So I would have, 2 stops on the ends, and that worked perfect for me. You had to have them then, but not so much if you've got a heavier board that's going to stick to the mat. But if that is an issue for you, then just use a sanding board. And you can put a piece of mat under here. I might need that, I might not. Just make yourself one of these sanding boards. Super fast, super easy. It's down 1/2 inch, so it's down below the surface of my board. And that's probably all I'm going to need. Here we go. You can see it still wants to move a little bit, so I could put a piece of this rubber mat, put a piece of that rubber mat under there, and it would diminish it even more. It's just not that big a deal. If it moves on you a little bit, guys, it's just not that big a deal. So let me go ahead and do the finished sand. So we got a 120 on the random orbital. Let's see what it looks like. A few little high spots there, but not many. So you guys know how we fix those. Yeah, those look good. I like them.
Those are pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I like those. Really should have a sharp, this is like a chisel point. Really should have a sharper one. But yeah. All right, cool. So we're going to sand the other one off camera. We're going to come back. We're going to throw a real quick coat of finish on there. We'll come back and we'll wrap this thing up and show you what it all looks like. All right, boys and girls, there it is. We are all done. That's what they look like carved. Again, some inset, some outset. We just did it the way we think it's going to look the best, and I really like them. And I will say that that one that you guys saw me carve, that was the one I carved, and Ryan pretty much did the rest of them. We got them all carved, but Ryan did a great job on carving almost all of these. Anyway, that is it, guys. So by the time you see this set will be on the website. 10 stencils. If for the set themselves, it's $25 for the set, same as any other set. Individually, they'll be $3.50 a piece if you just want one of those. But they were fun to carve. Your Ryan had a blast carving them. I had a blast carving that crest of, I don't know, what are we going to call that?
Coat of arms?
Coat of arms. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like, coat of arms. Anyway, guys, hope you like it. If you have any questions, let us know. Eric at makeawoodsign.com or Ryan at Ryan with Dave Signs at gmail.com. Is that right? Yep. Did I get that right?
Wow. Freaking nailed.
Yeah. And there's a website. If you need supplies, that's where you'll find this set along with all of our other supplies. So we will see you on the next one, guys. We love you. Bye.